Welcome, beautiful people, to D Dawn Kitchen. Guess what, guys? D Dawn is in the kitchen to do what? Pumpkin cake. I already done a video on the pumpkin pie. Today I'm doing pumpkin cake, and this is for Thanksgiving and Halloween. Hopefully you enjoy it. But before I begin, if you are new here, hi, welcome. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. And to all my YouTuber, supporter, follower, subscriber, a very big, warm welcome to you all. 1 cup of dark sugar, 2 cups of flour, 1 cup of milk, 3 eggs, 2 teaspoons of pumpkin spice, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, half teaspoon salt, half teaspoon ginger juice, or if you have ginger powder, you use half teaspoon, 1 teaspoon of almond, 1 cup of pumpkin, and I'm making the pumpkin where I'm gonna puree it. Also, the butter, 4 ounces of soft butter. And for the topping, we'll be using fondant and food coloring. So I'm using the egg shade coloring, and this is going to give you a yellow orange look just like the pumpkin. Also, I have some jam that I will be using on the outer part. This is a 6-inch baking tin, 6 and 3 inches deep. You need your NutriBullet, a sieve, your bowl, or a blender, and your mixer. With the pumpkin already peeled, I'm just gonna cut in on it. I'm gonna puree the pumpkin, or you can buy the puree pumpkin that is in the tin, but I'm making my own pumpkin puree. And you're gonna pour a little of the milk on it, like half. A little ginger juice. I told you 1 teaspoon or half. And here we put the pumpkin on the NutriBullet and let it and you will be sieving all your dry ingredient. That's the flour, your baking powder, baking soda, and the pumpkin spice. The salt cannot sieve, so let me just put the salt in the bowl. This salt is too coarse to go through the sieve. So you will be creaming the butter and the sugar together. And remember, it have to be soft butter. So you need to have it at room temperature. You're gonna break your eggs. And then you will whisk the eggs. Then you're gonna add the egg in. I'm gonna add the almond and our pumpkin. This is supposed to be half tin of pumpkin. So let me measure and see how much cup. So I'm using 1 cup of pumpkin. After you puree it, just measure it just to get 1 cup from it. You put your mixer in and put it on a very low speed, and you're just gonna mix for 1 minute. Now with the flour mixture, you're gonna add gradually. You put the flour in a little at a time. You're gonna grease the baking tin. I have some butter here. With some butter. And I'm gonna line it. You know what, beautiful people? You're watching this video today and you haven't yet subscribed. What are you waiting for? Please be sure to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will be the first to know when Dee Dawn is doing a video. So we're ready to pop this bad boy in the oven to bake at 350 degrees for 1 to 1.5 hours because the tin is very deep. So I see you back in an hour to 1.5 hour time. So beautiful people, it is time to check in on the pumpkin cake. It's 1 hour and 15 minutes. And how do you know that the pumpkin cake is baked? You would take a toothpick and you insert it in the center. And if the toothpick come out dry, just like this, you know that the pumpkin cake is baked. And let me test again. In and out. Our pumpkin cake is baked. So you're just gonna let the pumpkin cake cool. Then we'll move on. Now the pumpkin cake is cool. We're gonna remove it from the baking tin. And you're just gonna turn it down and let it slide right out, just like this. And lift. Oh, beautiful it looking, guys. Look at this. We're gonna remove the parchment paper from it. So now that we remove the parchment paper, you're just gonna flip it back over. We're gonna decorate this cake, and we're gonna decorate it just like the pumpkin, to look like the pumpkin. So please just sit back and relax and enjoy the show. I will be making some glaze because we have to glaze the pumpkin cake. And here is some of the puree. Remember, I told you I'm not using all the puree from the pumpkin. So this is just the puree, and I'm gonna put some jam to this. I've made this jam. It's a papaya jam. So I'm just gonna add. If you want to see how to make the papaya jam, you can always go to papaya jam and D Don Kitchen. And you're just gonna mix this up. This is a fondant, Fondant I'm using. And this is the yellow one. I did want to get the orange, but I didn't get it. So I'm gonna put some color into it. So we're moving on. We gonna pair the cake. And a lot of this cake gonna be cut out because we need it to look just like the pumpkin. So you're gonna begin right around the edge here, thin cut. And you're gonna go right around. You know, we're giving it that cut. You see, like how you see the pumpkin come in and out. That's what we are doing. And remember, guys, you need a paring knife to do this. Like, you see, you need like a paring knife to do it. So you're just cutting out just a small piece of the cake. You're paring out. If you notice what I'm doing two cuts. So you do one cut, and I'm doing it slant like that, and very close you come again with your paring knife, very, very close, and you do a double one. Because, and then you're just gonna move away the part of the cake right there, just like that. And in the center, one thing with this cake, you have to pare out a lot. You got to pare it out. If you're making this cake to sell or so, you know, it's a lot. Then you can put your gloves on. But this is just family. This is just for the house. And you get your hands clean. So the center is like this. You make a. So moving along, guys. You're gonna set the cake aside, and you see the cake is already pared. Pumpkin cake. So we're gonna work on the fondant now. Let's set that aside. So before we roll the fondant, we're just gonna sprinkle some powdered sugar, and this is the confectioner sugar. You know, you flour the board, so we're gonna sugar the board, and mind you, the countertop is clean. And I just want to cut this in off. Let me roll the bigger piece. And we begin to roll. You need strong hands for this, guys. If you have a weak hand like mine, I'm telling you. You lift it up and we're going to set this aside. I know with our pumpkin and our jam, we will be glazing our cake. So now we will be spreading the fondant on the cake. And this is going to take a little time, so just be patient. Looking at our cake, guys. Ain't it looking delicious already? Our pumpkin cake. So guys, I just want to make the stem now for the pumpkin cake. And here is some green food coloring. And I'm going to add it to the fondant. Some. You're going to need it in it. This don't really have to be smooth nor anything like that. Kind of sink. It's our pumpkin stem. I want to keep it up a little, and then just going to place it right in. It can be rough, we can just rough it up. Just like that. So I roll like this. And I'm just gonna place these right around right there. Just like that. Remember, we're still using the fondant. So my pumpkin is a little bit too yellow with the fondant. So I want to get it into a more color, orange color. So I'm just using a little food coloring on it. So I'm going to make the leaf, that's for decoration. So I add some food coloring to this, so it's like orange and yellow. And I'm just gonna roll it. And then you press it. And then you're just gonna come with the knife. Remember, this is a carving knife. Then you come over with the plastic like this and you're gonna press on it. And you lift. Open it up. And you do the twist. You see? So this is our leaf. And I make some green and yellow one to go along. I know, beautiful people, look at this. Our pumpkin cake is now ready. And this pumpkin cake, it doesn't make with vanilla cake or chocolate cake. It's straight pumpkin cake. Ain't it looking delicious and gorgeous? So this pumpkin cake, it is for Thanksgiving Day. You can use it for Halloween. And Halloween is in the here, Thanksgiving is in the here. So beautiful people, please give it a try. I know you will enjoy it. So I thank you for watching D Dawn Kitchen. Please take care of yourself, and above all, please take care of each other.